everyone, how are you all? So we're back for another instalment of the Memory Lane Stitch Along. I hope you're all well. I got a couple of messages about that you enjoyed me being in the corner, and to be honest it made me feel a little bit like I was sort of working with you all as well, so it's quite nice. I've tried to make myself a little bit bigger, but I don't want to make myself too big because I want to focus on the actual piece rather than me. And that sounds really bad, but you get my general idea, don't you? So what I'm going to do today is, on my walks and on my bike ride in my memory, I am still upside down, by the way, because I still haven't sorted everything out. It's a chore and a half, to be honest, sorting out my gear. I go through woods. I go through a lot of woods. There's woods opposite, there's woods further up the hill, there's lots and lots, and at this time of year there is the floor is blanketed in wild garlic and English bluebells, and the scent is absolutely incredible. And I've been out to the back garden because of where I'm located. It sort of blows itself in, and I've got a nice little patch of wild garlic that I do use, a nice goat's cheese, onion and wild garlic tart. Ooh, beautiful. Maybe I'll share the recipe one day, I don't know. So what I thought I would do is I would replicate the leaf, the flower, everything, by the way, on the wild garlic is edible, and it is. Say you chopped up some mushrooms and popped a few leaves in the pan, give them a little saute, and these bits in, it just adds that fragrant garlicky flavour rather than the heavy hit of garlic. So it's well worth, if you do have it around, having a go with it. I'm going off on a tangent. For those of you who don't know, in a former incarnation, I'm a classically trained pastry chef or a patissier, so some of you might know me from Facebook as Rachel Patissier, so that's why I sort of talk about food quite a bit. I can't help myself. So right, let's get on, because I do digress and these videos tend to end up miles long. And now of course I can look at myself and think I'm talking to you, so that's going to be even worse, isn't it? So I've again got my selection of threads. This has come from a local mill, Masson Mill, which is in Matlock in Derbyshire, which is about 20 minutes from me, and I've been going there a few times. And I went round the factory and they're just starting to make a few bits and bobs, but this is from their silk, beautiful. But they are famous at Masson Mills for the string and threads. So I just thought I'd bring some, and well, I was given this, so I thought I would bring it on and use it. I don't know, just a bit of history about Masson Mills. Richard Arkwright, who was a very, very famous and very rich cotton trader, he had the mill built as a big statement piece. So it is very beautiful, by the way. If you ever get a chance to go, pop along, and Andrew, the tour guide, he's wonderful. So anyway, let's get on, because I am going off on a tangent, of course, as I do. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do applique, and then I do a bit of embroidery on top. So I'm going to use this thread. It feels delightful. It's got a few stains on it, but who cares about that? Oh, no scissors. Okay. I've got the world's supply of scissors. No scissors. Will they be big enough to cut up? Let me just grab another pair. Sorry, everybody. You can probably see them. Right, I've got them now. So I'll just thread a needle up, and then I'm just going to bring that over so I'm not clonking down for you. I've watched a few videos of people sewing or cutting things up, and while they are wonderful, when they clonk, they put the scissors down on the table, it echoes, because obviously the microphone's quite close. And now I don't want to lick this. I don't know where it's been. It reminds me of teaching back at school with the teenagers. Yeah, wouldn't want to lick the end of the thread, that's for sure. Just don't know where they've been, do you, teenagers? Not all teenagers, by the way. I'm not, you know. Just don't want to sort of get into any trouble. So, for those of you who haven't watched last week's, I just did a little teacup and saucer and a teapot just in stitching, but I'm going back to the more is more technique because that's what I love. Okay, let's just tie it up. I'm just going to pop you there so I've got you on that side. Right, I keep coming across this in my box and I feel like I want to use it, so I'm going to put that on somehow, and I might just leave that lying up there. What did I do with the pins? I had them moments ago. Oh, they're in here. Oh my gosh, I'm so disorganised today. Shall I tell you really what it is I've quickly come on because Harvey, my son and heir, has taken Reggie out for a quick walk and he won't be barking at everybody in the village. So I'm going to pop that on there and I'm going to use Old Faithful here and I'm going to cut out a leaf. I'm not going to use this as a I don't know whether I want to use that as a pattern. I think I will actually. That's quite nice, isn't it? So I'm going to come down and just move that out of the way so I don't. Oh, I'll use this. I'm going to come in there and I'll draw around it so I don't cut the leaf up. Not that that really matters. I've cut it anyway. If you haven't got a heat erased pen, by the way, it's well worth the investment, or an aqua trick marker, because I like the extra fine ones in those, and it means you don't have to get the iron out. But I don't know, they don't always show up on here when I've drawn, so that is my delightful. Now then, what's happened here? Using my nice new scissors. I do love them. Now, I was watching one YouTube lady and she was very, very precious over her scissors. So much so that I've never come across it before. And she was saying, you know, she wouldn't use them on fabric that might have something that's man-made fibre in, or that, well, basically that wasn't anything that wasn't natural fibres, because it blunts them, which it may well do, but luckily I don't live far from the scissor. Beautiful Ernest Wrights, I don't live far from them, so I'll just pop along and get them sharpened. But you know, if you're not in that, if you haven't got that access, I suppose it's a. And she was saying she has a pair for natural fibres and a pair for man-made that might have man-made fibre in. I mean, I do have pairs that I use for sort of bonder web and interfacing and things like that I won't want to use my nice scissors for. I'm going to chop you off about there, and I know I've just used this and it's got that paper backing on it still because it's an upholstery piece. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that, and I'm sort of going to cut out a bit of a a shape, because I like the background of it. I'm just going to sort of cut out I'm going to go roundish, teardropish, just to give it that. And I might just come up there. Let's have a quick. It wants to lie that way, so I might just do it that way. Keeps wanting to lie that. Do you know, I'm going to talk about a technique that I used to use when I was teaching for the students that used to say, I can't draw, miss, and I don't believe that's a fact in anybody. Everybody can draw. So I used to get them with a pencil, and then we'd get a shadow and draw around the shadow and sort of get the shape, and it's just a lovely kind of technique to use if you're not very sort of artistic. But you are artistic because you're going to sew, so I don't believe that for a moment. But I'm just, oh my gosh, this one's got legs. Come on. I'm going to come down here with it, and now I've got the aquatrick marker because I don't know what I've done. Let's see. Oh, I think I've often said this. I didn't show you my desk, although actually it's not too bad at the moment. And I've gone off camera. You might want something a bit darker to see what I'm doing. Yeah. I'm just sort of cutting the shape of the leaf, how the pattern of the not the pattern, the shape of the flower head is going over. I know it's not exact. It's not an exact science. Don't. I think you know by now that I don't go for exact. Okay, so I don't want it to go. I think I want it to come a bit further that way. The problem I have is I never know when to stop. So just trying to see that now. Right, let's have a move around. Let's pull you down, because you won't see that if I leave it there. Hence why I pin, because I do change my mind a lot. If I'm given a great big pile of stuff, it's the worst thing in the world, because I can't make a decision. You see now I've gone like that. You probably can't see, but it's still got a bit of pattern on, so I'm going to go that way. Yeah. I honestly don't really think these through before I start filming. I get a little idea in my head, and then that's my kind of, and I think if I get some darker, ooh, do you know what, I could use this, couldn't I, for the stem? Let's do that. And that's my stem already cut out. In fact, I might go, no I'm not, I was going to cheat completely and use, but I think I'm going to use one of these leaves, look, because that looks just like that. Please use your artistic license when doing these things. Steal like an artist, as I always say. Now then, oops, am I going straight up with that one and not so curvy over? I will just say, if I have to stop filming because Reggie's back and he's a little nuisance, isn't he? He'll be muddy because it's been raining a lot here. can't see that too well, but I think you will when I start to add some. I'm going with that one there because it's got a nice little shape, which I love. You know, when you start looking at your fabrics and going through your fabrics, you'll find all kinds of things that you can use. And they look fab. They look fab then. See? I know it's not quite, but it doesn't matter. That's the whole point. Let's move you out of the way. So I've not pinned you down. Do you know, I've tried to buy some of these applique pins to stock in the shop, and they are, as we would say, like rocking horse poo. Can't find them anywhere. It's not even wholesale for some reason. Seem to be very, very popular at the minute. I might have to take that one out that's under there and move it up a little bit. But the moment I do get hold of some, I will be trying to stock them in the shop. I do have a little bit of exciting news, but I'm not going to share with you just yet. But it is very, very exciting for Moonlight Stitches. Very exciting. And to be honest, I really do want to share it with you, but I've been sworn to secrecy by Heather on pain of death. Not really. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stitch this down so I can start and faff around with the techniques. I'm not going to use anything special. I'm just going to do running stitch. Shall I, or shall I go over sew? I'm actually going to go and sew, do an over stitch, just a whip stitch. Yeah, I'll whip stitch it just to, I mean, you could do a herringbone bottom if you were really. Now I'm going to say something about applique. This is not anything, you know, I'm not doing something that's going to be worn or washed and worn. So if I was, I would make sure my stitches, ooh, I'm so nosy. I'd make sure my stitches were, if I wanted them to be hidden, tiny and smaller, and probably use a thread that was a little bit more, I'm just going to put a tiny little stitch in there because I don't want you to see. I don't know why I'm trying to hide it. Yeah, I'd probably try and match my thread up to the fabric, and I would use smaller stitches, more close together, but this is not for something that's going to be wearable or washed. I think it's more the washing than the wearing, to be fair. This, I have to say, this thread is absolutely beautiful, and I feel like it's cotton. It's gorgeous. It came on this little pern. If you don't know what a pern is, P-I-R-N, it's the shuttle that goes backwards and forwards to make the warp and the weft. Hang on, does it make the weft or the warp? One way's the warp, one way, oh, I can't remember. But anyway, it goes in like a casing and gets locked in and threaded in, and then that gets shot across and then shot backwards and forwards to make the fabric. And that's what that is. I just thought I'd I don't know why I thought I'd have to, I don't know why I thought I needed to explain, but it's always good. Every day's a school day, as I say. dear. But if you are in the vicinity of the Derbyshire Dales at any point and you come across a little town called Matlock, I'm not very far away. Drop me a message, I might be able to come and meet you for a cup of tea. And B, pop into Masson Mills, Arkwright Mills. It might be, somebody might, if you ask in the town. But they've got a lovely little tea shop as well. So that's my plug for Derbyshire. I'm just going to go down and do like a little invisible stitch on that. Not that it's really going to matter. Oh dear, I might have to add a bit in. Oh, not to worry, not to worry. So it's been a funny old week here at Moonlight Stitches Towers, I have to say. Has that another bit come off? I might have to, I'm going to have to, it's shedding its, I'm going to have to do something else on that, aren't I? It's shedding its little shoot. Oh well. Yeah, been busy. I'm just trying to think what we've been doing that has been so busy. I have no idea. Last Thursday went to into Derbyshire, as I said. I think Heather's writing a blog about that. You might have seen on the Instagram little videos of the mill, and then it's sort of been a bit of been having a tidy up outside. Had some limestone chippings delivered for the driveway because I ordered, well, you know, a ton bag, which in my head seems lots. So I ordered some ton bags, 3 I think it was or 2 initially, the back end of sort of last summer. Oh, it might have been I don't know. Anyway, I ordered these and they sort of went nowhere and like disappeared, and they look like this little pile of in this massive space. So we've had some more delivered because I've had to save up some pennies. So we've had a few more delivered, and that we've had that done. We've been doing that. Nothing. Do you know what? I haven't stitched. I'm trying to think when. I think it might have been when I'd been to Ireland. No, well, after I'd come back from Ireland and I did the little teacup. I don't think I've been stitching. I'm sure that you guys have that kind of same thing where you just don't have the time sometimes. With life getting in the way. I'm seriously thinking now in my head, what have I done all week? I don't know. I know the videos have been going up a bit later because I've just not had the time to create them. I went to we have a lovely little meeting on a Tuesday, once a month on a Tuesday evening, afternoon tea, and we all get together and just take our crafty stuff and do what we want. In fact, it's just a little sit round the table and gossip. Well, not even gossip, it's just chatting. So I'm going to stop because my phone's ringing. So I'll be back in a minute. Sorry about that. He was up to his chest in mud. He'd been up to his chest in mud, so he's didn't give him a bath per se. I gave him a little hose down, which he wasn't enjoying at all. Harvey said he'd been in the stream as well, but he didn't enjoy that. So I'm just carrying on with my straight stitches, and I'm sure there's some wonderful stitchers out there that are going to make this into something wonderful. But I just usually like to sort of just give a suggestion of what it's going to be, what it's meant to be. I don't try and replicate nature. It's just, you know, why would you? Just take a picture, photograph if that's what you want. I'm not that good. I'm not that good a stitcher that I'd it's not that I'm not that good a stitcher, that's putting myself down. Yes, I'm a great stitcher, I'm a great embroideress, and I am that good, but I don't want to toot my own trumpet, but yeah, it's not the technique that I enjoy anymore. I like to just go off on my own, do my own thing. I think that's why I don't enjoy kits. I think we've had this conversation many a time. So, as these have 5 petals, or do they have 6? Oh my gosh, is it? Hold on, let me just. Will they have 6? Oh gosh. Well, as I was going to say, I'm not really worried about giving them the exact amount because they're overlapping each other. Just trying to see if you can see on the video. Problem is, it's so difficult. I just want to try and keep that knot up so you can see it. It's so difficult to have it really focused in and for it not to want to focus on something else that's going on. Now Reggie's having a mooch round in the corner. He's moving all his cushions around in his window seat. I don't know whether you can see him or not. You can just see his little tail coming. His head. Yeah, you can see his little head in the corner. Which way am I going? That way. He's going to get himself comfy to have a sleep. He's having a right old fidget round. So yeah, the petals are sort of overlapping one another, so I'm not going to worry too much about how many I'm putting in. I'm just giving it a bit of, and I'm going to try and put some of these little pot, buds in as well, but further down. So I don't mind that I'm crossing over my other ones. That's giving it texture and depth, as I always go on about. It is part of it's going to come down there. If you've got stranded cotton or whatever thread you use, whatever's your choice, use that. I just use what I've got. I don't know why my shoulders were all hunched up. I think I'm got quite a bit going on at the minute, and it's making me quite anxious. So do forgive me if I look like I'm I'm probably not anxious, looking like I'm anxious, but it's, or coming across like I'm anxious. But there's things, you know, when the things happen and you don't like it, or it's upsetting, or something like that. These things sort of have an effect on you, don't they? And I always feel like I can come on here, have a bit of a chat with you, and I feel better. Not that I feel, you know, like I'm, but it does help, I have to say, sort of stitching along and having a chat. Because even though you're not with me, I feel like you're with me anyway. And it's nice that, as well, if I get little comments back, even if it is that's lovely or whatever, it's always lovely to get a comment, just to know that you are there, you are listening and you are watching. I sometimes wonder, I think, oh, I might say and ask a question towards the end of it to see if they're still tuned in. if I've not sent them all to sleep. I'm just going to do a little bud down here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a lazy daisy. I'm going to come off there, lazy daisy, or detached chain, whichever you call it. And then I'm going to come back up on in it and sort of fill it in. I hope you see that. I'm hoping to treat myself, or treat us all, to a better camera in the not too distant future. Because as I have said, I'm using a webcam, and to be honest, a lot of stitchers out there seem to be using the webcam, but I don't know whether it's me and I'm not using it right. And I've spoken to other people and they seem to be using the same thing as me, so who knows. But like I say, I've upgraded my phone, so I might have a little go of playing around with that, because I've upgraded it to something with a really, really good camera. So I'm going to have a little go at filming with that and see what that comes, because I've been doing some other little videos that are sort of snapshots, and then they'll all need editing together to put all in one video. So I'll put that, but have been filming that on my phone, because I've been doing it outside, because it's Reggie, shh, it's grumbling because somebody's walking past. Reggie, if he starts to woof unnecessarily, I will stop the video, because no one wants to listen to the naughty little doggy who thinks he owns the village. Oh dear. Why is that little doggies do that? Little dog syndrome. The thing is, he's the friendliest little dog. He just loves interaction. But he has been taught not to interact while we're out and about, because he was bought purely, well, initially as a sort of an emotional support dog for Harvey. He was taught not to interact with human beings. We couldn't stop him from interacting with other dogs, he just wouldn't have it. So that's why he didn't really make the grade. It's a bit like, you know, when you have a guide dog, he was one that they had to knock off the shelf, put in the reduced section. No, it's not quite that bad, but yeah. So anyway, he was taught not to interact with humans unless he was told he could, unless he was given the nod to. So that's when he's out and about, he is really quite good like that. But when people come to the house or on the property, my friend came the other night. Oh my gosh, he went absolutely bonkers. He loves her, absolutely loves her. But to be fair, said friend does encourage him. So yeah, I think he is bonkers, but he is very good out and about, and he's and she will, if she watches this, she'll know she is Lindsay. I'm name dropping. Why not? She was impressed by the fact that he didn't try to come out the open gate to see us at the car. She was quite impressed at that, which he has been taught. You know, he did get hit by a car, to be fair, and I don't know whether that had any bearing on the fact that he doesn't run out off. If you let him off the lead and he goes into the field, he's bonkers. In fact, if you do follow me on Instagram or Facebook in my personal page, you'll see videos of him bouncing around in the long grass and stuff like that. Cause you know what we're like, we love our doggies, don't we? So anyway, digressing. Yeah, he does love to run around, but if he's on the garden on the front, on the driveway, he doesn't. But he got hit by a car, that's what I was saying. And whether that's had any bearing on the fact that he doesn't want to get hit again. Luckily, he was absolutely fine. And the guy that was driving the car was driving really quite slowly through the village, and Reggie had seen his friend across, his little doggy friend. As I say, we can't get him away from he loves other dogs, loves to play. He'd seen him shot across the road and the guy had hit him, but he was absolutely fine. He spent the night in the vets, but he was just shocked. And he's a doodle, he's a border terrier crossed with a toy poodle. I like to call him a batoodle. I'm sure you've heard me say that bit many times. And so he doesn't shed, and he doesn't actually shed in here. But the strange thing, when he'd been hit, he started to shed all his hair with the stress. Really, really unusual. But yeah, it was a very stressful time. But he was a puppy as well, about 6 months old, so he was a bit of a lunatic. We didn't seem to have a lot of control over him. We thought that he wasn't going to be very well behaved, but my daughter says he's naughty because he is a bit naughty. He just likes to let people know he's around and wants attention. In fact, I'm surprised he's not on my knee. He's tired because he's been running around the woods chasing squirrels. So yeah, he's all right. He's a nice little doggy. So I'm sort of building up. I'm just going to see if you can focus in. Come on, focus. Yeah, sort of building up stitches all kinds of different ways going. They're not perfect stitches by any means, and I don't want them to be. So that's all I'm doing. I'm just sort of building up a little, sort of giving a suggestion of this, and I don't think it looks too bad actually. Now I'm looking at it and I'm wondering if I've got something that I might be able to use for that. I'll be having a little look in a minute. So I'm just building up the stitches. And some of them I'm not even trying to make 6 petals. come there. Oops. I'm just thinking what I might have for that. It's like papery. I might have to have a little inch round. Ooh, I might use that. I've just spotted something to my left, which I will use, but I'm trying not to go off on a tangent already before I've finished that. I like that. I like that a lot, and I'm just wondering if I also got to pick this up, if I might do a little bit of this shiny in it. I think I'm going to, but not now, because I don't want to take up all the time. I mean, I don't know whether or not you switch off after 30 seconds or not. It's, who knows? Am I that, you know, am I that riveting? Who knows? Do you remember this in a previous video? This lampshade satin stuff. I might actually pinch a bit of that, because it's a bit diaphanous, isn't it? A bit papery and diaphanous. Ooh, I'm on big words. I feel like I want to cut into it. I don't know why I'm saving this piece. Why it's like, oh, it's so precious. It's not at all. It's a rusty old lampshade that I picked up in France, and I bought it for the wire work because I'd gone to my brother's and he had the skeletons of old lampshades, the wire work, and he'd wrapped them in those tiny micro fairy lights, solar fairy lights, and I just had to have that. I had to have a go at that. So that's what I bought it for. I bought several, and he brought them back with him at Christmas. Because what I tend to do is I buy. I'm going to put that in like that. Sorry, I whispered to myself. Somebody did mention that. It wasn't on a video, it was just in a workshop that I tend to sort of mumble to myself. Right. I'm just going to stitch it down with that silk green again, because I've got a little bit left. And I'm just going to attach it at the bottom. Let's move you out of the way. But I'm going to try and gather it. So I'm just going to do that before I attach. Ooh, that's not very nice to sew through. How funny is that? I'm just going to tack it down there. And I'm going to go back over it a couple of times just to give it a bit of, ouch, like, you know, like this kind of look on it, maybe. Oh, I like that. I'm definitely going to put some of this in it because I think that'll give it a bit more depth and a little bit more texture. And I'm probably going to come in up here and just do a few stitches sort of over the whole piece, just to give it like a bit more interest. Maybe I'll have a look at doing some veins on the I feel like I want to come out a bit more over to this blue with my stitches, because I don't think, even though I can see it, it just looks a little bit. I'm going to put some more stems in on top and then come out a bit more out of here, just because I feel like this is too harsh. So there's no reason why you can't change your mind like I just have. Well, not change my mind, just add a different sort of dimension to it. There's no reason whatsoever why you can't do that. It's your piece of work. Why would you dictate to yourself what you're going to do and stick rigidly to it? You shouldn't. But I never ever start a piece of work and it finishes off how I envisaged it. It always develops into something else. And I don't know. And I think that's a good way to carry on if you're an artist. Unless somebody's actually asking you to draw a particular thing, which I'd never get anyway, because I'm not that kind of an artist. I always incorporate artistic license. I might put a stream in where there's not one and things like that. A bridge. So, you know, if I did a self-portrait, I'd probably look like it would look like Julia Roberts or something. I definitely would give myself a beautiful white smile. And not this saggy thing chin going on anymore, you know. I'd have beautiful skin and oh dear. I'd be practically perfect in every way, a bit like Mary Poppins. So yeah. Oh dear. Ouch! Oh, just stabbed myself. That's karma, isn't it, for being vain? Oh. Right. I'm going to move you out of the way because I keep trying to put pins in you. I think you're a pin cushion and it's a ball of thread. Just pop you in. I had a little cream tea and got a little jar of jam and I thought, right, I'm going to do that while I think about it. So I need that other piece of thread that I pulled off, which is there. And I'm just going to pull my chair in and sit back a little bit because I feel like I'm hunched over. She's gone to sleep. I don't know, I think you can see him. Oh, he's fast asleep. Bless him. Fingers crossed nobody comes through the gate, and I'm not expecting anything. The delivery drivers have been, so I'm not expecting any deliveries. So I'm going to come in, I'm going to start down here. I'm going to do a long stitch. I'm going to go up to there. 1, 2, 3, 4. But you know, I might even put some big. No, I'm not. I was going to say I'll put some beads in, but I'm not going to. Well, that has buried that. I'm just going to put another French knot on it because it's buried it into the fibres, which are not so great. And I just want it to stand out a little bit more. Oh, my tummy rumbling. It is tea time. Okay. That's sort of come out. I'm going to come up there and do the knot's a little bit looser. Try not to tighten it. Oh, that's looking better already, even though I've not even started popping the petals on. It's made it look a little bit more or less sharp. Wonderful. Just going to put another knot on that. I'm sure people only think I know how to do French knots. That's my stitch. French knots and bullion knots. I love them though. I think it's because they add depth and texture. It's just that. I like feather stitch, and I like feather stitch, and I like fly stitch. So I like all the stitches. I love them. Love them, love them, love them. But I do like the knots. I'm a naughty kind of gal. I did read a comment, and I have to say thank you very much, and I can't remember your name, saying that she stitches along and my voice is soothing. I hope it is. Oh dear. The kids at school didn't used to think it was, I can assure you. They'd be not in that. I don't think they'd be in agreement. Oh, that's better. That is better. Just checking he's still asleep. I can hear him snore. He's not snoring, he's like whiffling away to himself. I think he's chasing squirrels in his dreams. I'm just going to put another one in there and one there. Way. And I know I'm probably repeating now, and I don't know whether to stop the video, do that, and then come back and have a little look at what. Maybe I should. I'm just gonna put that in there. I never know whether or not it's good to be doing it in real time or whether people just want to see a speeded up version. But you know, people are tuning in, so I'm not getting any sort of comments to tell me to stop talking, stop waffling. So we'll just carry on like we've been doing, I think that's the easiest way. I did at the afternoon tea, one of the ladies mentioned about my wisteria, said how lovely it was, and thank you. It's always lovely to meet people, and also we'd gone somewhere and I was you know, it's a lady from Moonlight Stitches, and I was absolutely shocked. Absolutely shocked. I didn't realise that I would be recognisable at this stage in the game. But yeah, and she's booked on to come. We booked her on to come on to one of the workshops as well, so that was nice. And another couple of ladies that were there. It's always lovely when I meet people that have been following along. It is so lovely. It really humbles me to meet people that have been, and it makes me realise that there are people out there actually watching and taking note and admiring what we do, which is fantastic. Because I'm sure you creatives out there like me. Oh, I nearly went up. I nearly started stitching on my knee then, so you couldn't see. Sorry. Yeah, like me, you get that imposter syndrome, don't we? That we're not good enough, or we're not this, or we're not that. But I think that happens to everybody. I don't know anybody that's really that confident. Well, I personally don't. Apparently, Beyonce has it, imposter syndrome. So we're in good company if you are suffering from it. I do all the time. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it gives you a sort of a check on reality. And obviously I have people out there that I admire, and when I meet them I get a bit fangirly and tongue-tied and blushing. Oh dear. So yeah, I mean, goodness only knows what would happen if I met somebody like really famous. I don't know who would be my sort of ideal. I think probably somebody. See, I do love a bit of Brad Pitt, and I like David Beckham. I mean, I can remember going to a football match years and years ago, with my husband. The husband of the time. I've only had one husband. I don't know why I said husband at the time. I was just trying to describe what he is. Gosh. Do stop talking, Rachel. Oh dear me. Anyway, I'd gone to a football match with my son and hubby anyway, and the team we support, I won't say, because I don't want people to switch off. Or my husband and my son support. I'm just, you know what it's like as a mum, you get roped in, don't you? I'm just the hot chocolate bearer. Anyway, they were playing Manchester United, and David Beckham, he bent down in front of us where we were sitting to take a corner. I sound like I know what I'm talking about, don't I? soccer for you in the UK, not in the UK, in the US, and he took down to the corner, and he kept moving it around. He kept bending down, standing up, bending down, standing up, and I didn't realise that, but I'd held my breath for so long because it was so beautiful. I fainted and fell down the concourse. Much to my son's absolute disgust. Anyway, yeah, had a cut on my head, and the medics had to come. It was very embarrassing, but David didn't come and help me out, unfortunately. I woke up in a daze to my husband. So there you go. I don't even know where I was going with that story. Oh yeah, who would be my idol? Who would be my idol? I don't know. You see, I'm a little bit of a... I like old black and white movies, and James Stewart, I like him. I always have, I always think that kind of era is my... In fact, when I was having my website built, I had no idea what I wanted. I sort of knew what I wanted. I wanted a navy blue and pink kind of theme, because I just like those colours that go together, and I have quite a few of those bits and bobs. And I just said, I want it to look like a Doris Day film, please. I want me to be in soft focus so you can't see all my wrinkles. And I don't think they did bad. I think they sort of delivered that kind of vibe. And that's my vibe I'm going with the rest of my life. I'm just imagining myself in a soft focus Doris Day film. So, yeah. Oh dear. Yeah, so probably that kind of a... I mean, who doesn't love Tommy Shelby from the Peaky Blinders? I mean, yeah. Who else? I'm racking them up now, aren't I? I'm thinking, oh yeah, right, oh. I prefer a 1950s kind of film star, I think. 1950s-ish. Your Rock Hudsons. Well, I'd be interested to see who you guys would put down as your crush. I think I've also got a bit of a crush on Kylie Minogue and Nigella Lawson. If I had to marry somebody again, I think I'd pick Nigella, because she's very beautiful, for one. She's she rocks her curves, and she can cook, and she likes her food, and so do I. And I think we'd be a match made in heaven. There you go. So yeah, let me know in the comments. I'd be interested to know who you would what would I don't know, who your crush is. I mean, they don't even have to be famous, do they? They could be the boy from the shop next door. I mean, I'm not even going to talk about schoolgirl crushes when we were at school. Gosh. And how they look now when I've seen them. I'm not going to get... I might end up with a lawsuit. But, isn't it funny? So, right, I'm waffling along. Waffling and stitching. There's nothing better, is there, do feel I do miss my stitching group that I used to do, and I think it's something that I might have to bring back, maybe over a Zoom, get us all on a Zoom and do. I do say that, I know I've said it a few times, but it's just something, I don't know whether people would want to do it, want to just sit and all stitch together, and that wouldn't be me teaching. Oh, got a video, a message. I put that on, what do you call it, ringtone, tone, after I'd watched Ozark, because that's the kind of sad thing I do. And laugh at my own jokes, of course. I mean, come on. Oh. I love a good giggle at my own jokes. I don't know whether I mentioned that or told you about going on the ferry. I got stuck in the chairs, the recliner chairs. Oh my gosh, I laughed and laughed and laughed and laughed, and I could not get out of it at all. I couldn't sit it up. I couldn't do anything. I was just literally laughing and laughing. Luckily there was only me and my daughter in the reclining, where the lounge was, where they were reclining, because I think we might have got thrown out because it was supposed to be quiet. But yeah. Oh dear. Right, that's better. Oh, that's much better, isn't it? Yes, I like that a lot. I like that a lot. I do. Just fasten that off and pull that through. Okay. I might put another few buds in, but I'll do that off camera when I might not put any of those in. Now I want to put some veins in this. Now, where's my leaf gone? Because it's got kind of stripes going up, hasn't it? So I'm going to do, I'm going to use a nice green. I'm just looking for a needle. There we go. Gotcha. And I'm just going to go and stitch up and down. Just do some stitching up and down. Can you hear my phone pinging again? I say this every time, don't I? I don't know whether it's just my subliminal messages telling people to message me. Is it me? Am I really? But hey, I'm not going to do a back stitch. I'm literally just going to do running stitch, but I'm going to do a bigger stitch on the front than I am on the back. And try and keep my stitches even. And that's all I'm going to do down there. I'm not very good at this, loading my stitches up onto my needle. I'm a bit up and down. I think it's because when I'm so used to using a hoop, or have been so used to using a hoop, I struggle to do it in this kind of. It wasn't how I was taught. Just going to come alongside that, not that you'll see it, and hide it. Just tuck you under. I'm going to come back up that one. I'll go down there when I've sort of gone up and down this bit, because I don't want to. I don't like carrying my thread too far across the back of the work. I don't like to do that, because that ends up all kind of things start to go wrong then. I mean, you don't have to. I always say this. I don't even know whether you're doing the same sort of thing as me, but you don't have to do these stitches. You can do as intricately as you like, or not put any stitches on at all. Just put a few stitches on. But I can't look at a blank space. I'm looking at that bit and thinking, oh, does that need something? Because I can't help myself. And that is something that I am like throughout my sort of life as well. I think nothing of you wearing clashing colours. It doesn't bother me. I don't worry about it. I am unapologetically eclectic. Why wouldn't you be, if that's what you feel like doing? I actually had to cut Heather short on a video call earlier because she had the audacity to suggest that I went through my wardrobes and called a bit of stuff, and possibly used the fabrics, cut them up and use the fabrics. So I sort of went, oh sorry, I'm busy, and put the phone down. It's not happening. Oh dear. I have a lot of dresses. I dance. I do what they call modern jive. If you're out there and you're a modern jiver, say hello if you ever come across me. And yeah, I have a lot of dancey clothes with lots of sequins and lots of sparkle, and I just can't get rid of them, because you know what, I might wear them again. I've worn them lots, but even if sometimes I fluctuate in weight because, you know, I don't go out on my bike as often, or I don't do, and I can't quite fasten up the thing that I'm trying to wear, so I save it until I can get in it again. But no, I won't be culling my wardrobe. It's not something I'm doing. Oh dear. And yet I don't think anything of cutting up Grandma's tablecloth. In fact, just out of there's some table linens here I've just cut up. I don't care. They don't, you know, they don't hold that. I always think they're sitting in a drawer and they're very unlikely to come out of a drawer. I see these videos on Instagram usually of ladies cutting up lace tablecloths and gentlemen, I have to say, and making fabulous blouses and dresses out of them. Absolutely beautiful. So why would you not? I don't know. Perhaps that's just a me thing, and that, you know. But why would it be sitting in a drawer for never coming out when you could be wearing it as your summer frock? Sorry, I got a bit involved in my own thought process then. do tend to go off camera. Ouch, just pricked myself again. I don't know whether you can see what I'm doing. Yeah, you can. Ooh, just video focus. Yeah, I'm just going up down. They're not even parallel lines. Just giving a suggestion of those veins. Which is all you can ask for. Ooh. I got to have a little cuddle with a newborn baby today. My neighbours have had a little baby and they came round for a visit. So lovely. Oh, so tiny. Tiny, tiny fingers. They're perfect, aren't they? Perfect little humans. Oh, I'm not a very broody kind of person. I don't get broody, but I just appreciate the tininess of a little human newborn. I don't want everything that goes with it, thank you very much. But yeah, you've got to appreciate that. For sure. For sure. Yeah. Right. I need to go up there. I do need to go up there. I'm just going to come across that bit. Where am I? Just going to come across there. Just give myself a little couple of stitches. Like I say, I don't like to carry the stitches along the back. It's not a great... Because if it comes undone, it just looks awful. That's so thick I can't get through it. Right. Just going to come back a tiny stitch that you won't see. And come up. Ooh. Come up again. I'm hoping sort of the beginning of the next week that I can share my exciting news with you all. I'm very excited about it. I don't know how I'm going to keep my mouth shut. I'm not very good with secrets. In fact, I'm rubbish with secrets, and I would never say I keep secrets. I don't. But this is not a secret. It's just that something that I've got to just keep to myself for a little while longer. Just because we're sort of crossing the T's and dotting the I's, if you like, with it. So hopefully you'll be able to share next week, early next week. Keep your eye on the Instagram and the Facebook, the Moonlight Stitches. I might even go live on there and announce. Haven't done a live in ages. I don't know. I'm not sure. I never know about lives, but I know people say it grows your audience and all that, but I don't understand the live thing because you still can't interact. You know, you can't back and forth with each other. I just have to read comments, and that, if you're a one-man band like I am, it's not very good because you can't read the comments and be stitching and be chatting and doing all that. It's hard. So I think the Zoom is a better way forward because people can interact and we can see each other. So let me know if that's something that you'd be interested in sort of doing. I mean, I quite like that idea. I do personally. I'd go on quite a few, not quite a few, a few, probably 3, probably more like 2 Zooms where there's a few ladies on there or a few people on there. Right, do you know what? I think that's done. I might add a bit of that later. I might and I might not. I don't know. Probably not. But I didn't stitch anything on that, and I might cut that down. I'm going to cut that off. I was going to leave it sticking up, but no. So let's have a little look. Just you on your own. Take that off. Get you out of the way. That is very cute. I like that a lot. I haven't done anything on that. I was going to make it a little bit more bulbous, but I don't think I'm going to. I'm just going to leave it as it is. But if I do, obviously, I usually take a picture. So, but I think I'm just going to leave it at that. I don't think it needs anything else. So, as always, if you've enjoyed it and you're new, please subscribe and do give me the thumbs up. I don't seem to be getting a lot of thumbs up lately. I think it's just people have probably settled into me and don't give them. But I do it myself. I don't pause. I think it's a thing where I have to pause the video and then give the thumbs up, because if I get to the end of the video in YouTube, it goes on to the next video that quickly. I've not had a chance to do it, so I get that. So yeah, but yes, if you're new, please subscribe. That would be wonderful. And if you've got anything to add into the comments, please do, especially about your crushers. I'll be interested to see to use let's have a little look, a little giggle. Alright, so happy stitching everybody, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. I'm back, and as I was chatting on the phone I started stitching, so I got a bit carried away. Anyway, I filled in my bit of stem, and I was carrying on, and I'm literally just stitching down each piece, and I am just whip stitching. That's all I'm doing, because I'm going to put some other stitches in for my up here, and maybe some on the leaf. Okay, so we're all stitched on. We're all stitched down. Let me just check I haven't got any pins in. I haven't. Don't want to leave them in. Is there obviously a commodity that's sort of unavailable for the time being? Oh dear. Oh gosh, I've just had a great big knot in that. Oh dear. Don't know. That didn't hold up very well, did it, that piece of thread? Not that it matters. So there we go. So I've stitched everything down. I've gone around and just done a bit of a. So what I want to do next is I want to sort of put some green stalks in on here, and again I'm going to use a little bit of artistic license, and I'm going to use this acid. It's really acidy green silk that I've got. Oh my goodness me, I'm not having a very good moment with the thread. Oh, it's because I've tried to pull two out. So, okay, I'll probably need that one as well. Well, I have had a new phone, and oh my goodness, all the things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a pistol stitch, because if you look at this, it's got like a little tiny, I feel like these are called sepals. Gosh, please don't shout at me if I've got that wrong. That's my brother's a horticulturalist, and my sister-in-law, they're screaming at me. It's not that, or it is that, or whatever. So pistol stitch, it's like a stick with a French knot on the end. So up, I'm going to go around 4 times, even though, and then back down. I'm going around 4 times because this is very fine, and I'm just going to build up some stitches in that kind of direction. I don't like doing French knots and pistol stitches outside of a hoop. I always struggle with them because I'm kind of I don't know where I was going with that sentence. I have no idea. Sorry. Oh dear. Do you know when things, I don't know about you, but when I'm stitching, I sort of try to get my head starts to empty of all the things, or I might go through something that's in my head that's been going on or whatever, and try to make things sort of straighten up in my head and my thought process. And I think when I'm talking to you guys, I start off on a bit of a thing I'm doing, and then get distracted by a little thought that's popped into my head. Oh, I haven't done such and such, or the washing's still in the washing machine, or something like that. I'm sure you can all relate, because as busy as life goes on, doesn't it, around us. I'm just going to go up there. Now, this is not by any means going to be botanically, I think that might be a word, botanically correct. It is an inspirational piece. So that's what we're, right, so I've done a few French pistol stitches, okay, and they're representing my little stalks on the end of there, and I'm just going to go in and just going to secure that on the back. There we go. I'll leave you threaded up in that colour because I might use you again. And I've got a couple of coloured threads. This is an old PEARLE cotton that's come from some charity shop somewhere in like a creamy colour, which I might use, because even though I love this candy floss and it is a dead good match, I feel like I want to use that colour just because it's going to stand out a little bit more against that background. But hey, and I'm going to have to undo that because it's got itself wound on. I'm wondering if that's not, yeah, it's a bit of extra. Right, thread. So I am going to add some little petals. It smells delicious. It smells absolutely delicious. And I'm going to come in. I think I'll do a. I'm not going to do it like a. Did I put a knot in that? Probably not. No, I didn't. I'm not going to. I was thinking lazy daisies, but I think I'm just going to go straight up and down because I want to be able to see. I'm just going to do long stitch, short stitch, I think, because I want to be able to see what I'm creating at the back. It might look a bit like a dandelion though then, which I'm not bothered. If it does, it does. I actually think I'm going to do 2 stitches, one slightly longer than the other, side by side on some of them, just to thicken them up a little bit. I hope you can see what I'm doing. Just try and focus in a bit. Somebody said tap the thing and it focus. Focus, focus. There we go. There we go. I'm just making little stitches. Sort of like making it a bit like a little bit like a star, because that is sort of more or less what they are. And let's just put that over there so I don't focus on that. And as I say, you don't have to be perfect. Honestly, we don't. Right, I'm going to stop videoing. I'm going to stop recording because Reggie's back and he's going to go batshit crazy. Excuse my French. So I'll be back in a minute when I've bathed him because he looks like he's been muddy. Okay, see you in a minute.